This is my review on episode 6 of Moon Knight, the final episode of the series, and honestly not as good as I hoped. Tell me in the comments what you thought of this episode, and let's begin. And I think this was a fair final episode for this series. These MCU shows have gained a reputation of having bad finales, and even though this finale isn't bad, it felt a little rushed. I feel like this show as a whole would have benefited from having one more episode because so much stuff that happens here is in the first half of the episode, and then the entire second half of the episode is a battle between Mark and Harrow. In this episode, Mark and Steven escapes the afterlife, Ayla becomes a superhero, Arthur kills everyone in the tomb and releases Ammit, Ammit has a fight with Khonshu, Moon Knight and Ayla has a fight with Arthur, Ammit still goes into Arthur's body, and then the episode abruptly ends with a scene I'll talk about later. And if you think that's not a lot, all that happens in 42 minutes. And if you subtract 5 minutes, which are the end credits, then that means that all this stuff happens in around 37 minutes. It's interesting too because it is the shortest episode of the series, even shorter than the premiere. That's why for me it felt rushed, and that's not the only problem with this episode. The battle between Moon Knight and Harrow felt messy compared to the other action scenes, as you have Khonshu and Ammit fighting each other at the same time, and having these two monster-sized gods fighting each other took attention away from the fight with Moon Knight, and it didn't help that the editing in this fight made it a little bit hard to see or follow along with. Then you get to the end of the episode, and you can tell they just want to finish the show as fast as possible because the writing gets pretty bad in the last 5 minutes. Do you want to know how the main villain is defeated? Well, Mark blacks out in the middle of the fight scene and wakes up to find all the bad guys dead. That's like if Luke Skywalker blacked out while fighting Vader and woke up to find Darth Vader defeated. Or if Ripley blacked out in the middle of her fight against the alien and woke up to find it defeated. That's just a lazy way to end a fight. Then there's this weird scene I still don't understand where they go back to their room with Dr. Harrow in episode 5, then Harrow's feet starts bleeding, and then they wake up in bed and the show ends. I don't know if that symbolizes something or if there's a deeper meaning, but I'm still confused on what that ending meant. And as much as I'm pointing out the problems, as I said, it's still a fine episode that I find very entertaining. The action is still phenomenal, and it doesn't hurt the way I see the show. I just feel like it's a little bit rushed, and there were a number of confusing scenes. So overall, I'm going to give this a 7.5 out of 10, and my favorite scene is the scene where Ammit is introduced in the tomb, and she fights Khonshu a little bit. The show does a very good job making Ammit look intimidating, and Ethan Hawke does a really good job in that scene. Thank you for watching, please subscribe and click the bell, and have a great day.